Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to Christy Iwuchukwu's Brilliance TV show. This is where we spotlight the defining moments and accomplishments of today's top business leaders, entrepreneurs, unique and most successful individuals. And this is where you come in, because this show cannot exist without you. It's about your journey and your story so that you can impact and share your messages with other people so that you can impact their life in a way that would not have been possible. So I would love for you to be a part of this community. I would love for you to be a part of this community. Every week I bring different experts on different topics that you've already inboxed. Some of you have inboxed me that you want to hear about. So I do appreciate that. And I look forward to talking with all of you every Monday, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Invite your friends as well. Share this, the link, and invite your friends. I want it to be a community of supportive individuals helping each other grow. So who am I? My name is Christy Iwuchukwu, aka Lady Christy, CEO and founder of Chosen Path Global, helping women, new and aspiring women entrepreneurs looking to gain confidence to grow the business of their dreams. It's about speak up, speak out, and gain confidence. And I am excited for today. Today, I have a guest that is going to be joining me. But before I talk about my guest today, I just want to remind you, I just finished my virtual summit on the 27th on Saturday, January 27th, and it was really a success. And I have scheduled the next one for March 7th, 2018. So I would love for you, if you would love to be a speaker on that platform and share your message and impact lives, please inbox me or send me an email at info@chosenpathglobal.com, info@chosenpathglobal.com. So, and I look forward to speaking with you. You can also connect with me on Facebook at chosenpathglobal.com as well, or Lady Christy. But right now, I am super excited to introduce our guest today, our guest star today, Joia Jitahidi. Joia is going to be talking about the number one thing that must be done to make your New Year's aspirations a reality. Did you hear what I said? The number one thing that must be done to make your New Year's aspiration a reality. Joia is an executive coach. She guides entrepreneurial and executive inspiration into actions that achieve breakthrough to significant success. Please help me welcome Joia, and be sure to make sure you have your pen and paper and pencil ready, iPad, whatever you have, get it ready because she is about to drop some nuggets. Please help me welcome Joia. Joia, are you there?
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much, Lady Christy. I so appreciate you inviting me to your community. Thank you. I'm very excited about it.
Awesome. You and I met back in 2016. Is that right? 2016 at Speakers Venture with hosted by John Block.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And we have been connecting ever since. So I appreciate your friendship as well. Thank you for coming and supporting, sharing your message with my community. I appreciate it. So Joia, we're going to get started on this.
Yes.
I know you are a very spiritual person, and you have been, there's so many things that you do. What captivates me about what you do, well, let me not get into it. I'll let you share. But you have some awesome message to share today with our audience, and I'm super excited for that. But I want to know about who is Joia. You know, what is that defining moment for you? Pull the curtain and let us know how it all began for you. Oftentimes we hear about people on top, when they're on the top of the mountain, but we don't always hear their story, their journey when they are in the valley. It is in the valley that we get to learn the greatest lessons to help us grow. So pull the curtain back and tell us how it all began for you, the defining moment, and who is Joia?
Thank you so much. So who is Joia? I am all about inspiration. Everything I do is about inspiration, and I have the privilege and the honor to get to work with executives as well as many entrepreneurs who are doing well, and they want to do it in a different way with a spiritual foundation. And I am having the time of my life. I get to work in Texas and in Los Angeles, California, and I get to go back and forth, and I get to see my kids, and I get to travel, and I get to have a wonderful time. But it wasn't always like that. So I will, as you say, pull back the curtain. So I'm going to take you on a little journey. So I am 30. I'm pregnant with my first child. I'm about to have my first child. I'm so excited. My husband and I, we go to the doctor, and he said, and it's my due date. And he says, okay, you can go to the hospital. And I went, go to the hospital on my due date? Okay. So I leave it, but I don't believe him. So I said, let's go by the house. I want to pick up a bag. I want to do this. I'm messing around. And I get there and I said, I think I'll take a nap. He said, oh no, I'm taking you to the hospital. If the doctor had said, go home, you would have said, no, I'm going to the hospital. But no, he said, go to the hospital. You don't want to go. I'm taking you now. So he takes me to the hospital, which was a good thing because 4 hours later, my child was here. So I thought, wow. 4 hours of labor, healthy baby, healthy me, everything is good, go home, everything is wonderful. Now I'm 33 and I'm having my second child. I know they aren't the same, but I'm pretty much expecting it to be easier because the first child is usually the hardest one. But oh no, this time I'm rushed into have an emergency C-section, which is a major surgery on the body, very difficult. But the baby's okay and I'm okay. And so I think everything is all right. And about 4 hours later, they're calling in I hear them calling the doctor and they said, we can't stop the bleeding. And that's the last thing I heard. And when I wake up, I've had my second major surgery in 24 hours. So I have quite a bit of time to recover from that. And I'm not doing well. I leave the hospital, I go home, I'm still not doing well. Everything is not right. So 3 months later, they have me back in the hospital because they don't know what is going on. I don't know if you've ever I felt so afraid. I felt so alone. I felt so scared because they didn't even know what was going on with me. And about the third day, they say, okay, we figured it out. We're taking you to surgery. And one of the big things that happened is that there was a woman from work who said, I'm going to come in the morning. I know you're going to surgery. I'm going to come and I'm going to be there when they roll you in because I know your husband is taking care of the baby and the children. I'm going to be there. And she came and she was there and she was there when they rolled me in and she said, okay, I'm going to see you when you come out. Okay? And I went, okay, I'm going to see you when I come out. So that I go in and I think, okay, my body and I can do this. But we didn't. It didn't work. I died. I died on the table. So now I'm on the other side and I'm floating and I'm having this wonderful time. I'm not in any pain. Everything is good. And all of a sudden I see this beautiful, luminous woman. All of a sudden I hear her say, would you like to go back? And I went, can I go back? She said, yeah, if you want to, you can go back. I said, well, will my body work? I had all these contingencies for going back, believe it or not. And she said, oh, yes, no problem. I said, okay, I'll go back. I would love to go back. I have 2 small children. I would love, that would just be a wonderful thing to get to raise them. And as I'm getting ready to go, I hear her say, there's just one little thing. Touch. And that's how I left. And when I wake up, everything is different. Nothing is the same. I am never alone, even though when I'm with no one else, I know that they are guiding and supporting me. So I have felt it when I left the hospital. Could see auras, and it was just this beautiful world, and I was just in love with everyone. And then as I settled more in my body, and I had to really learn how, as they did come back, but it was a couple of years before she came back, and that's when I started my journey with the muses. So what they are asking me to do, which I'll tell you more about later, but what I really want you to know is that it's not about knowing what's going to happen. It's about knowing you are a part of everything that is happening, and that there is nothing you can do wrong, and that you are here to you could say, play the song that you came to play. You can't do it wrong, but you have to do it. It's important that you absolutely do it. So I am here. Looking for those people who are very clear about what they want to do and may have done it really beautifully, but they're looking for a way to do it with a spiritual foundation that allows them to move and create momentum and to move with ease and joy as they create their life.
So, oh my God, we have so much to talk about, Joy. Listen. You have some creative way of working with your clients. And when we talk about it, it's really interesting. And that is what you call the muse. And for the audience that are listening right now or watching, they may not always understand what is the muse and how does that help an individual accomplish what they want, their goal, their aspirations in life, without much appointed, because we found out it's not always the case. But you have a creative way of getting what you want out of life. Can you share that with us?
Yes. What I have discovered is those are the exact people who are attracted to my programs. They're the people who have doingness down. And what I really work on is the being, because it's who you're being, what you're doing is what impacts it. Bring to you. So the universe is really simple. So the most important thing is to understand how the universe works. And it's very simple. And this is in someone else's book. This is in Jerry and Esther Hicks' book, Ask and It Is Given. 3 things. 1, your job, ask. You must ask for what you want. Not what you think you can have, but really choose to ask for what you want. The second thing is the universe thinking about your clunker, and you keep thinking about your clunker and how much you need a new car because your clunker is just always breaking down. And then you wonder why you have so much trouble because all your energy is on this clunker as opposed to really in the energy of how exciting it is to have a new car. Mm. So the very first thing you get to understand is when you're a match for something. So everything that shows up in your life, you have to be a match for it. All the good, all the bad. Got to take it. And we allow by, an example I'm going to use is, you want a glass of milk. If you ask someone to bring you a glass of milk, if I say, would you please bring me a glass of milk? I'm not going to sit here as soon as you leave the room and go, oh, I hope that they can make it to the refrigerator. I hope they get this. And you don't go in that. You just know that this person is going to bring you a glass of milk. So you let them go and bring you the glass of milk, as opposed to trying to rethink how it could a glass of milk, and then you go on about what you're about, then the universe will bring you exactly what you have asked and what you are a match for.
So tell us a little bit about this muse. For people that are listening, some of them may not really understand the word muse.
Okay, so that's how the universe works. Now, how the muses work. So first, let me define what a muse is. If you heard me at the very beginning, and because inspiration is an energy field and it's really hard to talk about, it's a little unwieldy, well, for me. So I had to make it simple for me, and I can think of another person because I'm in a physical body, and so that's what we're dealing with. So all of the muses came to me as beautiful women. Well, I have a couple of men and children, but 90% of them are women, but they all are feminine energy. Now I'm blocking on his name. I'm thinking football, and I'm trying to think of an actor who was married to Angelina Jolie. Can't think of his name right now. Why can't I think of
Brad Pitt?
Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt has incredible feminine energy. He has absolutely had an entire life, which is why he can be with a woman who has a lot of masculine energy. It doesn't bother him. He's totally example of a masculine energy who has his being and does his work in a feminine energy. So the muses, I have all given names, and they're all a quality of the divine. They're all a quality of source energy. So it's prosperity, abundance. However, the last year we spent the entire year with the house of manifestation. Cheer. We just have a lot of different muses that are a part of this house. But what you have to remember is that there's one little thing that's kind of different about them, is that you have to invite them in. They cannot insinuate themselves in our lives. So we have to invite the muses to come in. So you can think of a muse as a beautiful woman.
So what I'm you know what you want. You don't waver around whether or not you will get it. You are almost, you know for sure, this is what I want.
Yes.
And if I throw that out there, that this is what I want,
Yes.
the universe will help me get what I want. Am I on the right track?
You are. Precisely. That is exactly. When you say, I want this, the universe says yes, and it starts to go and get it for you. Joy or happiness. If you stay there, because everything I want makes me pretty happy, if I stay in that energy, then everything can come with ease.
So what do you say for individuals? Because it sounds so easy. And when I think about it, I think of Law of Attraction, the movie Secret. You probably have seen it. It sounds so easy, yet it's very difficult for a lot of people to cultivate.
Talks about the milk, and they were thinking how they wanted to do, or if you think about the car and you're thinking about the clunker instead of the car, how much you're going to enjoy. I think by habit, for me, I used to always think about what I didn't have, and I spent 80% on what I didn't have, and then eventually, well, as soon as I had that experience, it was very easy. But before then, I worked really hard to did I discover how much time I was complaining, as opposed to, so complaining doesn't support you. So the goal is to do what works, and that's why I designed this opportunity, this plan, this way, because it is easy. It's really easy once you create the momentum. But it's like pushing a rock up the hill. It takes some perseverance. But once you get in that smooth, that place where it just happens for you. Everyone knows what it feels like when they're in the flow. It's like, what do you do when I'm not in the flow? Mm-hmm. Well, when you're not in,
some of us have named, maybe it's a wig, maybe it's a car. We have named it Sasha, or whatever name we wanna give it. Mm-hmm. So when we talk about the muse, the name that you're talking about, is that peculiar to you, or is it the same for everybody?
Well, everyone in my program, when we are focused on one muse,
okay. So what now, in your own practice, what do you think are the challenges that executives and people that you coach are facing in terms of embracing this concept as a way to get what you want, rather than working so hard to get what you want? What do you think are the challenges, and how do you help them navigate that challenges?
Well, the challenge is, well, I'll tell you that. So the program is the answer to the problems that we have discovered that come up. So one of them is, of course, perseverance. The first one is to remember to call the muse. If you're not choosing to spend time with the muse, then you won't remember. And even though they're there, they can't do anything. So it doesn't help you any. So you have to call on the muse. A higher level of ourself, a true and more authentic component of ourselves. So that's what we're really choosing to do. So we are trusting our intuition. We are saying, I don't want to do that, and not doing it, even if it's what you think you should do. If you're doing shoulds, they don't work. Everybody has, so he had to work on that. I mean, he was arrogant and righteous. He thought this was the right way. This was the only way. I said, but if it works for you and it doesn't work for others, then it doesn't work. So you have to find something that works for everyone, because that's the only way a team works. And he went, oh, got it. He thought he was leading and they were supposed to be following. And they weren't following in the right way. And once he got a different perspective of it, he went, oh, this should be able arrogant you sound? And he goes, I'm trying to sound confident. I said, but it comes off arrogant. So we had to make a distinction between confidence and arrogance. So then he went inside and he worked with the Muse of Surrender, because he didn't ever want to surrender, because that would be weak. Mm-hmm. So that was the Muse he didn't want to work with, because surrender was something is wrong inside. I said, okay, so that's what we're going to work with, when it feels right inside and when it feels wrong inside.
Wow, that's exciting. So now we're still talking about the Muse.
Yes.
So you have an interesting way of working with your clients. It's not really, for the most part, it's not the norm, because I think you're the second person that I probably have heard doing such a thing. Tell us about it. You work with your work.
Oh, the payment. Okay. So here, this is a point of view that I have chosen to live from. So when I started a business, I said, I'm going to always charge what I'm worth, the most I can charge that I'm worth, but I'm never going to turn anyone away. So what I decided is that my point of view is that if people find me, they're for me, and I'm supposed to serve them. Because my job is to honor you coming into my space. So if someone tells me that they don't have any money, they can't, at this time, they can't pay, I said, okay, but what are you willing to pay? I said, okay, and when do you think you can do that? So then I worked, and so I said, you know how excited you're going to be when you can pay me that amount at this time? And they go, yeah, and they get all excited about being able to pay me when they make money. So we set it up for the future, because what I found, I used to say, I'll do this So I said, okay, let's fix this so you know you are responsible and you are contributing. So you have to at least come up with, $25. Okay, I can do 25. Okay, $25, and then we'll carry the other. And when we hit this amount, I said, so what are you gonna do? And then we just play a game. We just play the game. And then they make more, and they make more. They always make more. And I do the same thing with companies. When I work with them, then I do a percentage of not where they are now.
The tithe?
Tithe, like in church, yeah, the tithe.
And how does that work for you? I mean, do you find that some people will agree and they will dishonor that agreement, or do you think that you say people are happy that you introduce this kind of way to work with them?
You know?
Has that helped you grow in your business, or what has been your experience in that, using that approach?
So far, no one has ever welched. Not a single. And the first thing you do is clean a drawer, you know, declutter something. And so we just declutter a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time. And all of a sudden, our whole room was decluttered. And then she started to, we just declutter. If it's not moving fast enough, then integrity needs to be put in, and then things happen.
Awesome. Now let's talk about your book. I know you wrote a book.
Yes.
So the book of magic and manifestation. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Processes on the planet. And so I was so honored to be invited to contribute to the Thoth Book of Magic and Manifestations. You can find it, it's on Amazon, and we're getting ready to come out with the hardback copy this year. It'll happen probably around March. And then my second book that'll be coming out this year in hardback is
all about
the Joyas of Coaching. The Joyas of Coaching will be about this process that I'm sharing tonight.
Okay.
It'll be actually laying out in the Thoth book. You're invited to, you're introduced to a muse, and you use one every day, and you have a place to write and a place to, it's like a journal, and you get to really submerge yourself over a month's time into the muses and build some momentum. But this book, The Joys of Coaching, will actually be about why it works as well. How it works.
If somebody is watching right now,
yes,
and I know people will be watching this afterwards, because sometimes people don't are not always readily available to watch at the time. So I definitely, that's why I record this, so that people can get to watch it later on. So give us a reason why someone will want this approach rather than the level that we are used to, because they may not be familiar with it. Give us a reason for someone who doesn't know this approach. I mean, I talk to you, so I know the approach. What is the benefit of someone using this type of approach to for life, whether in life or in business?
Well, there are two major, I think, shifts that happen. The first one is that for the first time, 90% of my clients have never felt ease. And it feels like ease in their daily life, where before they were working hard and when they're doing and working and coming from inside and doing it from an intuitive space, and you don't have to believe in it, you don't have to like it, you just have to be a match for it energetically, and then you get in this momentum, and then it just feels like everything, it just feels like ease. So I had a client who's been working with me for a year. She signed up for her second year, and in January she signed $5 million worth of work for her company over a 5-year period.
Wow.
And she's never done that before.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Yep. And so she's picking up momentum, and so she's hiring people, and she's bringing, but she's not in overwhelm. You get out of overwhelm. And as an entrepreneur, the hardest part for her has been to allow the work and to train people who can do the work, and she's not doing the work. That's been the hardest transition, where
awesome.
people who are doing the work. And it's different for It's different for every single person. There is no one way, because everyone finds their own internal thing. So it feels like ease. And the second one is success. And it is exciting. It's exciting. You get excited and it gets easier. So and you get easier, you get more excited.
And the success comes because you are able to apply the muses, seeking what you want.
Yes.
Definitely that you're gonna get it. There's no wavering about it.
No, you just have to do. I have one author who says this all the time. He says, "There's nothing to do. Stop doing, but there's always action to take." And you do the next obvious thing. You do the next.
Right. Thank you so much. As we come to the end of this talk, this conversation, how can our audience contact you so that you can give them more information about your program?
Well, I'm at joyamuses.com.
And do you have anything to offer at this time?
Oh, yes. So please go on my website. Up in the right-hand corner, it'll say schedule a meeting. I'm giving you just with me. And it will be directed strictly on you. Be totally supporting you in getting closer to your dream.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Joy. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, audience. Go ahead and share this. I'm going to post it on my link on my site, and for you to also invite people. I want you to connect with me on chosenpathglobal.com on Facebook or under Lady Christy as well. We do this every Monday. 7th. And if you would love to be a speaker, please go to chosenpathglobal@gmail.com, chosenpathglobal.gmail.com, or info@chosenpathglobal.com, info@chosenpathglobal, and send me an email. And I look forward to hearing more of what you do and how we can support and collaborate with each other. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Lady Christy.